let's take a look at our top selections for the... Hi everybody, Dan Illman here taking a look at race number 7 at Lone Star Park on a stakes-laden Sunday card. Let's take a look at the field for the kickoff leg of the 50-cent pick 4 going 7.5 furlongs on the turf. It's the Lane's End Danny Shifflett Scholarship Stakes. $75,000 is the purse. It is a big and bulky field, and we've got a horse in here that's done very well in this race in the past. The number 12 Corluna is 20-1 on the morning line. She is the two-time defending champion in this race. Maybe her current form is suspect, but at a price, I think you have to respect her chances, especially if the pace is fast. And the Timeform US pace projector believes that will be the case. Note the red bar indicating the fast-paced situation. The 9 Discreet Smile, a very fast horse. The 11 I'm a Discreet Lady is also quick out of the gate. I think she can sit off one or two other horses if necessary. The number 7 is also very fast. That's Born, stretching out and switching to turf. I agree with Timeform US. I believe this pace could be sharp. The number 1, Herb's Love, is likely to try to come from off of the fast pace, as she tried to do last time out in a non-winners of 2 other than going this distance in her first start off the Danny Pish claim. This horse was beaten by a sharp one. The winner of that race came back to run second in an optional claimer with a 77 buyer. That race has already produced 2 next out winners. I just wish Herb's Love kicked it in a little stronger. She was the beaten favorite in this race last year, but you could argue that she was going into the 2020 edition of this race in better form than she is right now, 20-1 on the morning line. I think the number 2, Zerelda, is a bit of a sleeper at 20-1 on the morning line. I know she's only raced once on turf, and she was well beaten, but she had a major excuse in that race in early 2020 at Sam Houston. There was a hot pace on. She never got a breather. She finished ahead of 3 of these common foes in a race that produced 3 next out winners, and that race took its toll on Zerelda because she went to the layoff for a lengthy absence after that start. It looks like she is slowly rounding herself back into shape. Her last start on dirt was a victory. This is a horse that might get caught up in a pace battle again, and maybe she'll pay the price. But that one turf race, I wouldn't hold it that much against her, and she's going to be a very big price. The 3 is Nomas Tequila, and we're going to take a look at her most recent start. First start back under the tutelage of Alan Milligan. She finished 3rd in this allowance race after racing wide into the stretch, and the winner of that race is in very good form. Came back to run second in a 2 other then with a 74 buyer, then won a $12,000 seller at Evangeline with a 72 buyer speed figure. Nomas Tequila has lots of minor awards on her page, but she's likely to get the right setup. At 12-1 with Richard Aramia aboard, I would expect her to be rallying at the end. Tahitian Breeze is the number 4. Let's take a look at her last start against Texas-bred non-winners of 1 other than competition, her return to turf. She got a great setup in this race. The pace was solid, but she did make a prolonged move into contention, and she was very game to win. Now she needs to run faster as she steps up significantly in class. She's Our Fastest is the number 5, and She's Our Fastest is a very, very good Texas bred. She's seeking her 10th lifetime win. I just have a feeling she's better on the main track. All 9 victories on the main. Her last race, 86 buyer speed figure, going 6.5 on the main track. Turf is kind of the question. She's run well on turf, but not as well as she's run on dirt. And the same goes for the number 6, She Sparkles. 0 for 3 lifetime on turf. She's done some good work on the surface, but again, all of her lifetime wins have come on dirt. Her most recent start against Texas Breds, a second-place effort on the main track. She's hit the board in her last 4. I think she's better on the main. Born is the number 7. Born is likely to be a pace factor. Now, she has only raced once on turf in her career. Completely different ball game than what she's going to be seeing on Sunday. Sunday is a 2-turn, 7.5 furlong race. Born ran 5/8 of a mile at Gulfstream Park, a very sharp sprint where she pushed the pace in a race where the 3rd-place finisher came back to win at Keeneland with a 90 buyer. That was a very tough race at Gulfstream Park. Distance is the question for me, not surface with Bourne. She's only tried 2 turns once in her career. She was 3-1 in the Charlestown Oaks, going a 2 turn 7/8 at Charlestown, and she underperformed in that race. If she gets caught up in a fast pace, she might pay the price at this longer trip. The 8 is Miss Perfecta, another horse that is good on turf, good on dirt. She's coming off of a big victory in an off-the-turf race last time out, and that race should just prove a perfect prep and set her up for this, for trainer Steve Asmussen. Her last race on the turf was 2 starts back, and she chased a very fast pace that day before tiring. She was one of 3 next-out winners to emerge from the race. I'm going to take that race on turf at Sam Houston 2 back with a grain of salt. Just didn't fit her from a pace standpoint. 3 back she ran just fine when beaten by I'm a Discreet Lady, who we'll get to in a little bit, but she's another horse that likes to be forwardly placed, and at maybe 3-1 on the morning line, it's a bit light considering another fast-paced scenario is coming. Discreet Smile is the number 9. Discreet Smile, a winner off of a lengthy layoff. 2 starts back at Sam Houston in gate-to-wire fashion. Maybe she bounced just a bit, coming back quickly in her second start off of that long break. She took pressure in that open allowance race and tired. The runner-up came back to win a stakes race on dirt at Lone Star with an 89 buyer, so she faced a really good field of open horses. Third off the layoff, I expect Discreet Smile to do well. She obviously runs well on the turf, but is another horse that likes to be forwardly placed, and maybe she could get cooked by the pace. The 10 Light Up the Devil, coming off of a little bit of a layoff here. All of her wins have come on the main track. She seems like she's better sprinting on dirt. Now she goes 2 turns on turf. Here's I'm a Discreet Lady's last time on turf. Sam Houston, February the 27th. She beat 6 of these common foes, and she beat them very easily, as you see, drawing away in the stretch. She likes to be close to the pace, but something tells me breaking outside of some of the other speeds, she can sit off another horse or 2. 2 turns is not an issue for I'm a Discreet Lady, who has plenty of back class. 7-2 on the morning line with David Cabrera aboard. And here's the 2-time defending champion, the 12 Core Luna. Her 3 races this year, to be perfectly honest, have not been very good, and now she's going to have to deal with a difficult outside post position, but she's likely going to get the right race flow in this race. If she remembers that she's the same horse that won this race in 2019-2020, she might be able to come with a run and surprise these at a big price. I'm going to use her 4th in here, but as we take a look at my picks, I'm going to go with I'm a Discreet Lady. She's a beacon of consistency. I think her tactical speed will play well, where she will avoid being burned out by some of the other speed horses in here, and I think 7-2 is a fair price. 11, 9, 8, and 12 for me in one of a plethora of stakes races at Lone Star Park on Sunday. Good luck.